Now, what is the usage of UML? Till now, if we have understood what is UML, then we must have also understood what is the usage of UML. But with that, we are also going to have it in points. That is, first thing, UML is used to document the designs, right? Whatever the design patterns are going to be framed, those are going to be defined in the document designs. Second one, we have the represent different views and aspects of design. Now, when I say different views and aspects of design, I mean to say we can have the static static designs, we can have dynamic designs. When I talk about static designs, I mean to say that those are the designs which are with the structure. Dynamic designs are the ones which are having the concept of behavior, which I told you in the earlier session also. See, behavior, these are the ones which are having the concept of dynamic, because behavior is going to change, right? Every time I perform a new function with the help of a software, the new functionality which is running, that is forming the dynamic. It can never remain the static. So the behavior is the one which is forming the, which are having the dynamic concept, while the structure will have the static concept, because structure is not going to change, right? Whatever structure we have, that will remain same, and it is forming the static. Okay, so that is what we are having here. Now moving on to the third one. So these are what, these are the different views and aspects of design. Third one is provide a next to precise common language. That means we need to have a precise language which can help to understand all the team members can understand this particular language, through which we can have discussions, we can have benefit analysis, maybe also the feasibility study, the cost benefit analysis, and many more things which are coming under comprehension. So these are the forming the usages of UML. Now, next topic we are going to see is the architecture of UML. So before starting up with the architecture of UML, we should understand that what the concept of architecture is. See, in a real world system, we can have, or a real world system is used by different users, which I'm telling you from the first slide only. That is, a real world system has different, is used by different users. Different users means to say that when we design a software, what we have an analyst who is going to analyze the requirements. There is a client who is a business person who does not have any knowledge of coding or analysis or testing part, anything. He is a layman person who understand no technicalities of the software. There is an analyst who is going to contact with the business person and is going to analyze the requirements, so that the requirements can be generated, through which we can design the system further. We have a tester who is going to test the system, and a developer who is going to implement the code, right? So all these people have different focus in their field, right? All are working for a software, but all have a different focus. Tester has a focus of removing the errors. Developer has a focus of what? He has a focus of implementing the code. Analyst has the focus that he should get all the requirements and all the updated and exact requirements from the business person, so that these requirements can easily be converted into functionalities of the system. So they are having different perspective of mind, different perspectives of mind. So when I say designing a system, the architecture is made with different perspectives in mind. So that is what I'm telling you, that different people who are involved in one thing is having, or are having the different perspectives in their mind. They have a different focus of same software, right? So it is important part, right? The most important part is to visualize the system. So what we can do is, as we all know, an image speaks a lot of words rather than the text. So that is how we are going to understand that if we provide the visual models, it gives a clear understanding to all the people involved in the designing of the system. So is part is to visualize the system from the perspective of different viewers. The better we understand, the better we can build the system. See, first thing is to get the requirements. If we are getting the right requirements, then only we can develop the right system. So same way goes on, and it is going to helpful for designing and building a right system. Now, in this important roles for different perspectives, we have four things. We have four perspectives. One is the design, second one is the implementation, third one is the process, and fourth one is the deployment. We all know what is the design, what is implementation, what is process and deployment. We are just going to see out here that in terms of UML, we are talking about design. That means design of a system, it consists of what? It consists of classes, it consists of interfaces, and it consists of collaboration. Now, what are these things? Classes, we all know, we have defined what are classes. Interfaces is what? Interface is the communication or the link between the classes and the objects. And collaboration is what? Collaboration is forming the together of forming all these things together in a group form that we will see in detail in further lectures. UML provides what? It provides you class diagram on the basis of classes, and it provides you object diagrams to support this design. Fine. Now we come to implementation. Implementation is what? We are going to assemble all the components. Let's say if we have four components, we are going to assemble all the four components together so that we can form a complete physical system. So implementation is this part. It defines the components assembled together to make a complete physical system. UML component diagram is used to support the implementation perspective. So which perspective it is focusing on? It is focusing on the implementation for, perspective, while design part is focusing on what all components are there, what are the classes, what are the objects, what is the interaction between the classes and the objects, so forth and so on. Third one is the process. So process defines the flow of system. Now this is what the flow of system is being defined with the help of the process. Hence, the same elements used in design are also used to support this perspective. So we can say that design perspective and the process perspective can follow and can support the same perspective as it is working for the flow of the system. And the last one is the deployment. Now, what is this deployment? Deployment represents the physical nodes of the system that forms the hardware. Now, when I say deployment, deployment is what? When the software is being configured on the supporting hardware, that particular is forming the deployment process. So it is representing what? It is representing the physical nodes of the system that forms the hardware. So UML deployment diagram, this is the main part of this particular point, deployment. The deployment diagrams are used to support this perspective. So this is what these four are forming the architecture of the UML. So thank you for this session.